Welcome back to the Daughters of the Moon podcast. Mom and I are both grateful that you can join us for another week, and we're excited today. We have Krystal Parry on with us. She's a best-selling author, a Reiki master, and an evidential-based psychic medium. She's worked with thousands of clients, both international and stateside. She received her Reiki master certificate in 2014 and became a full-time psychic medium in 2019. As an evidential medium, she connects her clients with their loved ones across the veil. She brings forth messages and evidence that prove our loved ones are right here with us and have never left us. Uh, as a psychic, she can tap into the higher guidance from unseen helpers and share insight to her clients, and these messages provide peace and comfort to all as we journey on this earth. So, welcome, Krystal. We're super excited to have you on the podcast with us today.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you, Kim and Barb, both of you for having me. Been
Hi.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So what kind of has been your journey up to this point as in developing these skills and things like that?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Isn't it?
Um, First of all, I think everyone has abilities. Absolutely. I trained in mediumship that came much later in my life, but I felt like it came naturally. I just had to tune in and tune on. Of course, there was some things in childhood, and when they would happen, I would just think everyone had this and ignore it. It's just like, oh, everyone does this. It's not no big deal until you get a little older, and then you realize, oh, not everyone had that. And for the person that is, let's say, in tune, they think it's just common sense. This will just happen, and I just know this, and I just felt that. Then you realize the rest of the world's kind of tuned out. So throughout my life, throughout the journey, once I started taking some Reiki courses in 2013, it started in 2013 and became a master in 2014. It just kind of enhanced so much that I was already doing. And I call it the gateway drug, because once you go down that path, you're like, oh, there's that one, and there's this one, and there's crystals, there's incense, there's ding, 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 ding. It's a pinball machine that you can't control, it seems like, once you go down the spiritual realm. So it just really opened me up. And as soon as I had my master's certificate in that, I wanted to teach it. I wanted to share it. Who else wants to do this? Because you can do it too, and you'll feel it in your hands, and you'll have your senses. And so it just exploded from there. And then I had the opportunity to train 5 or 6 years later in mediumship. And that was another whole beautiful basket of wonder that just encompassed my life. It just really took over, and it made me really step back and say, you don't need the corporate world anymore. This is now your path. So after many, many years in the corporate world, I stepped back from my full-time job a couple of years ago to just do this full-time.
Oh,
Nice.
that's wonderful. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Not lying. I've kind of set out some paths for myself, and I'm sort of seeing it more clearly. Like since my husband and I actually went away on a holiday and we started talking about retiring and where we wanted to retire, and really putting that
Out there.
real vision to it. And it seems since then just different things have been starting to click into place, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm bringing that to me now. Before it was kind of just like, yes, on the vision board, but it's not actually manifesting into my life. So it's interesting how we put those things out, like you're saying, where it was like one right after the other to pull into become now your full-time job.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, and I got to tell you, it was very scary when you're in the corporate world and you're like, I get paid every other Friday, or have insurance and I have benefits and I have XYZ amount of vacation consistency. So your brain says, right, this is what we're supposed to do. Grow up, get a good job, make your way in the world. And when you have that, yet you're pulled in the spiritual realm to the unknown of, you're going to do this work and it probably won't pay nearly as much as you're making, but hey, this is where you're supposed to go. Right? Your logical brain can't get around that. And you're like, how are we going to eat? How are we going to pay the rent? I don't know what's going to happen. When I finally quit, I literally had a physical meltdown. My stomach digestion system went all out of whack. And of course, that's your center of willpower and confidence. And it took me a good 6 months to recover from that. But then I had to just sit with that every day and meditate. This is the way, this is the path, trust the next step, so that you've set the intention now to move forward with your dreams and goals and visions. It's coming to fruition a little more, a little more, a little sign, something blows in your front door, and wow, there we go.
It's true. Same with me. I retired, but I haven't retired.
I stopped doing one thing to do this one more, right?
Exactly. And because I thought, oh, I'll retire and I'll be able to sit back and put my feet up a little bit. And it's like for about 2 or 3 months. And then it was like, woo, okay, we're on another miracle. We're on another merry-go-round here. Let's go, and just accept the footsteps as it's taken you. And, and it's always like this. You never know where it's going to take you to the next
It's
ride.
not linear. The
Yeah.
other thing is, if you're a busy person, you're a multitasker, especially women, we're kind of used to a busy lifestyle. You can sit down for a few months, but your brain's like, I should be doing something.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many hours in the day and I should be doing something.
Yeah.
We can't just fill it with watching our grandkids. We love that, but there's this internal drive of, you still have this much life left. You're supposed to be doing something with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was just having that conversation with somebody at work because I'm like, now I've been getting up earlier, so I get up at like 4:45 in the morning, and then I start work at 7:15. So I leave the house about, I don't know,
Excuse me. 6:30.
quarter two-ish. And it's just like I got up earlier so I have more time to accomplish more things, and I still feel like I'm running out of time in the morning, right? Because now but I've realized the other day was like, oh, I'm just not prioritizing what is important for me to do. I need to shift some things. So it's funny how, right, we're going to talk maybe a little bit about intuition. It's like, just like my intuition was like, hey, hello, this is what you're doing wrong, right? And following those footsteps. So is that somewhat of what led you into your spiritual path as well as quitting the
Yeah,
job and doing
yeah.
it?
A few face plants, a few humblings, a few, steps and milestones along the way. But I look back that I was guided through it all, no matter what. We always are. We doubt ourselves in the moment. We're questioning everything because society says this is wrong, this is bad, you shouldn't do this. Oh, I would never do that. I can't believe you're doing this. Everyone's opinion's so loud. Your soul speaks
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah.
Your soul's very quiet and very subtle. When you sit with it, it's almost missed because everything else is so loud. I don't want to hurt my parents' feelings. I don't want to hurt my boyfriend's feelings. I don't want to hurt my wife's feelings. I don't want to, I got to do what they want me to do, what would be right in the moment. Yet inside your soul's crying out, don't do this or go do this,
Yeah. The heck
no
with
matter
them. Do
what.
that.
Right. And then when you take a risk and you're just like, oh, that was the best thing I've ever done. You're building that muscle, you're working it, and you're proud of yourself for listening to that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that is the truth. So, how do you think we know in our bodies when it's in alignment with our soul of the moves that we're supposed to make to be listening? Like, what signs can we look for ourselves, or is it different for everyone?
Yay, I love this question. I go through in my intuition class that I teach, I talk about the chakras in the body, the energy centers in the body. Even if you don't know what they are, it doesn't matter. There's 7 centers in your body that go up, excuse me, like from the root area, the top of your hips, the bottom of your hips, all the way up to your crown. But I start at the bottom with the root, and your root is the foundation of your life. Maybe how you was raised, your home life, your security in life, the job you have, how you feel secure in life. So if your intuition hits in this area, which, let me back up just a moment, most people think they just feel it in their gut. I felt it in my gut. I knew it was off. It felt in my gut. I like to walk through all the steps because you feel it in a lot more places than you think. The root chakra is one, if it's something that's right for you, correct for you, let's say marrying a person or moving out of state or going to college where the whole family's like, well, you shouldn't do that. You're going to want to move towards that as quick as possible. Your body's literally going to want to step ahead, move forward in life with that. If it's a no, there will be resistance in that area. You will stop, you will pause. I don't know why. I don't want to date him. I don't want to date her. I don't want to get married. There's something stopping me physically in my body. If you ignore it, even though it's saying don't do it, and you ignore it, you may develop problems because we hold our emotions in our body. So you may develop some hip problems, some knee problems, some feet problems, things that are about moving forward in life, but you're resisting that area because you don't want to listen to your own inner guidance. You're listening to everyone else's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then as we move up, we go into the sacral chakra. It's the one in that pelvic region where we give birth to babies, right? But also men have the same region. So it's that area of what do you want to give birth to? What's creative? What can you bring to creation in this life? Not just children, but do I want to start a business? Do I want to start a podcast? Do I want to build something in my life? Or should I not because everyone's telling me, no, you'll fail at that. You don't have enough money. That's not going to work. Yet that center of your soul right there is saying, I really want to. It's beating. It's telling me I want to. You'll continue to get nudged if it's something that's right for you. Again, if you repress it in this area, which some people do, you may have some infertility problems, bladder problems, areas in the body that are resistant to listening to your own soul. And we hold that throughout our body. And as we go up the chakras, same kind of thing, energetically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gut is a huge one because it's the solar plexus. I always like to say it looks like a sunbeam when you walk into a room. So it's wide and bright, and as soon as you walk into a party, everyone's seeing your light. So you feel it really the most there. So everyone thinks it's just your gut, but they've also been told by society, oh, I feel it in my gut. Oh, this is where you get it. Oh, it's always in your gut. So we think that there's no other way, right?
Right.
Yeah.
If someone teaches you how to tie your shoes one way, I only think there's one way to tie shoes. So it goes throughout our whole body. We are sensory, walking, beautiful gift from God, and our whole entire being is one whole. Why wouldn't we feel our intuition throughout our entire body? How many times has someone got chills, right? Ooh, goosebumps.
Yeah.
Truth validation. I'm feeling this is truth in a conversation with someone, or talking about angels, or talking about someone's birthday, or celebrating joy with someone. You get the chills, right? That's still your intuition. Like, ding, 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 this is right. Take a hard left. This is the right one. We're getting signals all the time. They're just very subtle.
Oh,
The world's loud.
Absolutely. Well, it was funny. Speaking of that, we were just planning a thing. We have a girls' day with a bunch of us. And so we were planning an outing, and it's coming to Halloween. So we figured we'd do something spooky. And so I found this thing online. And it was the seance experience, which we're not really in belief about well, seance. And well, not we don't believe in them, but just question if a person should really open up the world to that other realm just with all willy-nilly kind of thing. And this was just for fun, so it was a but as soon as I said it to everybody and everybody was all in, I every time I thought about going, it was like I could feel something go up my back and just like be touching me on my shoulders and being saying, this isn't where you should be going. And I just got that like almost sick feeling. And so finally we talked about it, and then I said to the girls, I'm really sorry. I said, I just everything in my body is saying
Don't go. Mine too.
we
Like,
shouldn't go to this.
yeah.
And you chimed in and said, yeah, I'm feeling the same way. And they're all like, well, if you guys say we shouldn't go, then we trust your intuition, right?
It just didn't feel right, and it's something we've always told people, like if you're going to get into Ouija boards and stuff like that, seances, that kind of thing, like you really have to protect yourself before you open yourself up to something like that and know what the heck you're doing, sort of thing. And it's just one of those things. I don't know how you feel about that, but
100%.
direction.
100%. There's people that go down that avenue daily. They trust it for them. But if it feels wrong for you, absolutely don't do it. It just tells you your energy frequency isn't ready for that. I don't want to vibe at that frequency, whether it's lower, higher, middle ground, doesn't matter where the frequency is. I don't vibe with it. And I'm listening and I'm saying no.
Yeah. But I think people, like you were saying, like if we start really realizing when our body is talking to us and is saying these things like, hello, don't go down that road, or, turn this way or whatever. I mean, you look at all these different events that have happened, 911 or
Hey, same.
9/11, right? The Titanic, different things that you see, plane crash, whatever. It's like, oh, I was supposed to be on that, but I got sick, or I forgot my keys, or I forgot something, I had to go back, and then I missed that whatever. And I'm such a true believer, and I know you are too, that things happen for that, right? Although sometimes you never know why.
100%. And that's the thing with intuition is because it's subtle, it gets ignored. Number two is it will keep nudging you until you do what it needs to happen. And it might not be every hour on the hour, but it might be every day. Every morning I wake up with this feeling I got to do XYZ and I ignore it. Next day I wake up with this feeling and I got to do XYZ and I ignore it. It keeps nudging and nudging and nudging because that's your path. The other thing with intuition is the more we ignore it, we're actually weakening that muscle. The more you work it out, the stronger it gets, the more in tune it is. And the last and final thing, I talk about this in my book, is energy and frequency from the divine, whether you call it God, source, whatever, works moment by moment by moment. You're going to get the hit when you need it, not 6 hours before, not because I have to tell my boss when I leave on Friday that I quit on Monday. I need to know, I need to know. That's futuristic.
Yeah.
Energy works moment by moment.
Yeah.
For example, when you're driving down the freeway and suddenly you think, ooh, I should slow down. And you turn and you look over to the right or left and there's a highway patrol sitting there. It told you in the moment to slow down, but you didn't think about that at 6 a.m. when you were brushing your teeth. Oh, at 3:05 in the afternoon, I should slow down. It works moment by moment by moment. And we have to be ready for those moments to come in and give me the answer, not force it. Humans want everything right now. We are instant gratification society. I can go through McDonald's, I can get my phone, I can get all the answers right now. Spirit doesn't work that way. Spirit is saying you'll get it when you need it. Trust that it will come in when you need it and let it go. And don't ask and calm down and you'll be given what you need when you need it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm really famous for saying that to people because they're like, I'm trying to do all this stuff, I'm putting all this stuff forward. And I'm like, you have to trust and you have to let go to believe this is how it's going to work out because the universe or God source knows far better than we do how is best to work out for us. So just because this is what you envision doesn't mean that's exactly so. So you need to let go of that part.
Yeah.
And they're like, rely.
Right. Right. I'll use an example. I just saw a client yesterday, and when I saw her a year ago, she was looking for a relationship and didn't have one. And I said, something's coming, just hold on. So she came and told me yesterday that she is dating a guy that she met in 2023. So back 2 years, right? And when I sat with her more and more, I said, he wasn't ready then, and you weren't ready then. He actually needed more time and other relationships to help get him to the level he is, and you actually needed to wait and pause to be grateful. So when he came into your life, now you're together. And so it made so much more sense to her. But why didn't it work out then? And why couldn't we could have much longer time together? It wasn't ready. It's like cooking. If the stuff's not ready, we can't eat it yet. Right?
Right.
We must wait. We must.
We must be patient. And that is such a hard word, patience, right?
Yeah, that's why it's a virtue.
Yes.
Right.
Well, this is why it's printed in the Bible, and trust is printed over and over again, and have faith is printed over and over again to remind us daily.
Yeah, absolutely.
That it's there. It's there if you just wait and pause. I call it the sacred pause. Ask and let it go.
Yeah.
Ask and go, wash your clothes and go take the dog for a walk and go do something, and trust that answer will pop in the moment that you're ready for the answer.
Yeah. So
in the meantime, when you are working with your intuition and something does pop in that's random, let's say you're making dinner and making soup and all of a sudden you get this thought of, I need to call my mom, but you're ignoring it. You're still making soup. Now I got to get the kids.
It's froze.
At 2 p.m. and when you was thinking of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, and so you say, and I believe this as well, and so I know you do too, is that we need to build on our intuition muscle. So in your perspective, how does a person go about building that muscle and practicing with it?
yeah. Well, first thing, as soon as you get a hit, whatever, as simple as it might be, trust it. I need to turn left today. I don't know why. I need to take a different route to work today. I don't know why. That's dumb. I'll get faster on the freeway, and I'm ignoring it and still going on the freeway. Trust and take that route. You don't know where that's going to lead you. Maybe you're getting the intuitive hit of, I need to leave early today. I don't know why. Yeah, I want to. Great. It's but I need to leave early today. I'm thinking of my friend, or I'm thinking of my son, or I'm thinking of, so whenever it pops in, and it will work throughout the day. It's just, you need to be quiet and pause. Is this coming in for me? Is this some action I need to take? And the moment that you do that, you're actually telling your body and your intuitive, energetic being here, okay, that I trusted that. Let's act on the next one. Okay, I trusted on that. Let's act on the next one. It's really acting in the moment when it comes in and showing to the divine, I'm ready and I'm trusting and I'm willing, right?
Yeah.
I liken it to a garden hose. When you turn the water on and the water comes out one way, it's always coming in from source. It's always turned on for you. You can take the hose and kink it. You can shut the water off, but the water will always still come one way direct from source to you.
Right. Yeah.
This is our superpower.
It is.
It is.
It is.
It
Yeah,
is
I love
lovely.
that. So when you reach out to the other side, because this intrigues me as far as mediumship goes, um, how do the deceased loved ones come to you? Like, do you hear them? Like, are you clairaudient or clairvoyant, or how does that work for you?
Yeah, great question. Everyone has the clairs. One's usually stronger than the others. As a medium, you're using all of them pretty much equally. My strongest is claircognizance. I just know. So I'll set into a session. I just know a father's here. I just know a son's here. And then I'll start to see. Then I'll see clairvoyantly their form. How tall are they? What are they wearing? Maybe they're presenting me something. Maybe, a young man might be in uniform and I'll know he was military. They start showing me what they're wearing and then I express that to the loved one. Sometimes they'll have something in their hand and I'll share with that. So then sometimes I'll smell, a smell, or taste a taste, clairgustance, clairalience, where I'm suddenly tasting black licorice and I know that this belongs to you because that wasn't me 2 seconds ago, right?
Yeah.
So as you're working, just like any muscle, if I'm just doing bicep curls, the bicep's going to get big. But if now I'm doing leg squats, my legs and my biceps are getting big. So this is me working all the clairs when it comes in. And you have to be prepared because what you're dealing with is the loved ones on the other side, they're using their abilities as well. You might be tapping into someone that was very, very clairvoyant and you're claircognizant. So they're bringing you all these visuals and you're kind of like, I don't really know. I got to figure this out. But that's their strength, right? Because we don't really lose our personality when we get to the other side.
Right.
So you have to be open to everything that's coming in for you and put it together like a puzzle piece. Some of them are very loud and very boisterous and happy to share. Others are very quiet and still. Somebody might have had a father or a grandfather that just didn't talk much, but he was present and he loved you, but he was just a quiet man. I can't make someone talk to me. I'll try to drag out information from someone, but I can't make them talk to me.
How often do you stand there and doing a reading going, well, they're there, but I don't know. I guess they're just here to observe you here with me.
It has happened, and I've had some people get let down. Well, I really want him to say sorry, or I really need an apology from her. I'm like, she's not saying it, and I will not put my words in there because that is not the truth. Unless I know that they're telling me that, then I'll express it. But I'll say, like, they're not ready or they're not doing that quite yet. They understand the error of their ways, but I'm sorry, I'm not giving you that. And eventually people understand, because they knew how their loved one was before they passed, So most of the time, they fully understand everything. I have everybody record their sessions if they come in person, or if it's on Zoom, they get a recording because there's so much in a session that comes out. Yes. I just feel like I turn on a fire hose to people. Here's all this stuff. Okay, have a nice day.
Yeah.
And they're left with an hour of, 3 weeks of conversations.
This will make sense later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fast.
It's very validating.
Yes, very.
Yeah, and I don't think we always digest everything. Like we get, caught up on one thing that a medium or a psychic has said, and we get caught up on that, and then we kind of miss this little in between part. So I think it's great when there's recording.
Yeah, I always like to say, if I sit with you for an hour, you're going to remember the first 5 minutes and the last 10. So you should record it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So in your opinion, can anybody learn to become a medium?
I think so. I really think so. I think if you're in tune with yourself, then you can definitely be in tune with others. It's just as if we're, humans, just we're talking to those that we can't see. If you walked into a party, let's say, and there's 30 people there, and you're seeing your friend and you wave, and then you come over here and you're talking and you're sensing someone over there, you're picking up vibrations from each one of them, and your body energy is kind of going out, greeting them, coming back, going out, greeting them, coming back, however that might be. I'll twist this just for a minute because we're talking about the energy body. If you walk into a party, notice your body language. If it's a place you don't want to be, your body will protect those energy centers. You might suddenly cross your arms over your belly and stop that flow through your solar plexus, right? Or even some people will cross their arms over their heart area. The heart chakra is one-on-one connection with others. Maybe I don't want to connect with people right now. Maybe I literally turn my body away, even though I'm looking at them and nodding, My body's saying, I want out. Our body is so loud. We just listen to the external world so much more.
Yeah, we really do not pay attention to our bodies. Like I have found myself sometimes you'll be somewhere and then you're like all hunched in. Well, because you're protecting yourself, right? Or one of mine is I don't know if it's a bad, but it's something that I notice when I do, which is I will put my hands behind my back and like clasp them behind me to sort of protect my root chakra and protect any from kind of passing my boundaries.
Right.
So every time I do it and I notice it, I'm like, oh, what's going on right now that I feel like I need to protect myself?
Yeah. That's good. It's good to pay attention to that, right?
Oh, 100%. And so every time you do that, you're building the muscles, which in turn make your intuition stronger.
Yeah.
Because you're validating, I trust you, give me more. I trust you, give me more. I trust you, give me more. It's kind of like raising a child. Okay, honey, you can come to me if you fall down. You can come to me if you just need a love. You can come to me because you're a good boy or good girl. You can always come to me. Like the body's like, okay, thank you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But it's I love this because I think people often are looking for, and I know I've talked to different people and they're like, I've tried to talk to my loved ones and they never talk back to me. I'm like, well, they probably are, but you're missing what they're sending you, right? I mean, they can't talk to us constantly. Well, I think they can actually, but like but you're missing what they're trying to send you. Like, did you, something show up to remind you, or did you have a memory of, your grandmother that passed or something? That's their way of trying to say to you, I'm here visiting with you. I'm watching over you. I hear you, in my opinion.
I
Yes.
think too, with some people though, they're so strong-minded of how they feel about some things, they can't let it in because they're so opinionated to how they feel about something. So, because I mean, I had that come where a young fellow came to me and I said, "Your mother wants you to talk to her," and she's just not ready, you know. And she was that person where it was all her way, sort of thing. And he knew that she wasn't ready, and he says, "Tell her she's not listening because she's not ready," you know. And it's that simple, you know. But if people could understand their own cosmetics enough, see how they are, in order to get that vibration through to them, it would be a really nice thing. But some people just don't listen.
The other thing is people want more. They want a full conversation.
Yeah.
If my mom's coming, I want a full conversation. I don't just want the cardinal at the door. I want her to tell me she loves me. She's watching over my kids. She's doing this. She's doing that. They want what a medium, let's say, session would give them. That is not really how spirit works. It comes in glimpses. It comes in quickness. It comes in and out, in and out. It is not going to be you're going to sit there and have a conversation. Now, if you meditate all the time, you might get 3 or 4, 10 sentences. It comes in when, let's say your grandmother was a cook and you're baking her favorite recipe. There she is. Maybe she's pressing up against you, but she's not talking. She's holding you. She's hugging you. You're feeling her sensation. That's still valid. People want something more, like you said, dear. Or I've had people come to me, if this is my brother, he would really show you these exact 3 signs. Okay, well, he only showed me 1. And the thing is, once we get to spirit, it doesn't matter as much as it did here on earth. It goes right out the window. We still want to hold on to what they would say, how they would look, how they would share that this is them, da, 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 da. And you're also dealing with a medium, a channel like me or somebody else. It has to go through my filter. If, let's say, piano was one of the signs or something else, I might see piano music. I might see a piano bench. I might see the ivory keys, but no one's playing. It still came through. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
And people just want it specific. They want the details. They want the colors. They want so much more than they even had in life. Like you're asking for a miracle here. That's not, the dead don't change.
That's true.
That is so
That's
true. Well, and I always say to people, like, ask for a sign. Like, like think of something that you want that is tangible, that you can see. Like, I want to see a blue butterfly. But don't, if the blue butterfly doesn't fly by you, but you order pizza from somewhere, all of a sudden there's a big blue butterfly on the pizza box. That's your blue butterfly. Or you're standing in line at the grocery store and the lady behind you is talking about blue butterflies. That's
There's your
them
butterfly.
coming in, right? Like I think we just,
100%.
like I think we just get so
Caught up.
tied up in what that sign is that we want, we miss them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And when I teach how to connect to your spirit guides and angels, I say surrender and ask them, what will you show me in the coming days? Not show me X, show me the butterfly, show me this, show me that. What will you show me? Because your guides and angels know where you're going to be in the next few days, know what detour and route you're going to take. Instead of forcing it to be some way, which you can do and put your own little rules around, it might just be a little more hard than allowing them to bring something in and validate. I had one person say, well, I'm just sitting here and I saw oranges. I'm like, trust it. I don't know what that means for you, but trust it. A couple of days later, she texted me. She walked into one of the grocery stores and they was handing out oranges.
Oh,
Okay, take that. It worked. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely. And so you said you're also an author and you've written a book. So can you tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about your book?
And show us your book.
Yes. The book is called Trusting Your Intuition and
Nice.
Connecting to Your Spirit Within, and it's on Amazon or my website. The first part is kind of my bio, kind of what we've discussed, how I got here, and how did I even think I could go down this crazy rabbit hole. And the second half is how to trust your intuition, and then how to connect to your spirit guides and angels, and tapping in for yourself and trusting what comes in for you. I mean, nobody has the same fingerprints. Why would you think your connection is going to be the same as somebody else's? Just because they get up and meditate from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. before they go to work, maybe yours is an afternoon stroll for 20 minutes, and that's my meditation.
Yeah.
Nobody's is going to be the same. You can't force it on anyone else. Society has these programs, but with intuition, there is no programs. It comes moment by moment by moment, and you have to be ready and willing to, okay, I'm trusting this will come in at the right time.
Right. That's true. That's very true.
Yeah. So would you say if somebody is feeling blocked from connecting, like if they've connected to their spirit guides and their angels and things like that, and then they feel a block, do you think that's because they just maybe got too much going on in their life? Or what do you think is the reasoning behind when we sort of lose that connection to our guides?
A few things that Barb said when she said, they're just stubborn. People are just stubborn. They're programmed in their ways. It's not the way my mom did it. That's not the way I'm going to do it. We have to let go and surrender, even if we have that human tendency. Okay, right now I'm just going to surrender what's coming in. What do I just feel? And in the moment you get something in your head, an idea that you wasn't thinking of, that's a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Okay, suddenly I saw an orange. Suddenly I saw a blue butterfly. I don't know what that means. Maybe make a little note or mental note, jot it down. And okay, I'm just going to surrender into what this means. Let's say you ask a bigger question of giving me an outcome. Should I move? Should I marry this person? Should I take this job? Whatever. And then surrender into, okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to go back into a sacred pause. I'm going to go do the ironing. I'm going to go take the dog for a walk. I'm going to ignore that I asked the question. And suddenly you're driving to work and boom, here's your answer out of the blue. Because you surrendered and you got out of your head. Most people are on the chain of the brain. Got to do, got to be, got to see. I got to think it to death. I got to stress about it to death. I got to keep myself up at night, worried. Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? None of that is serving you with intuition. Take it off your plate. 100% wipe the plate clean and just surrender. I have an empty plate. Here I am, open to receive. Right? You're blocked because of society. You're blocked because of past programmings. Sometimes you're blocked because of relationships you're in, let's say a bad marriage or a difficult relationship with a child where I can't get my intuition, but I'm knocking heads with this kid day after day after day. Surrender and let it go. and pause. I'm not saying unleash your life. Okay, fine, let the kids burn the house down. It's
Thank you for
just,
that, for
where
adding that
can
in.
I be quiet? Step back into yourself. Where can I be quiet? Maybe it's 5 minutes of stillness in the shower. Where can I surrender today? And start there, baby steps, to even feel what that feels like. Because we all have had moments of insight and intuition, like driving down the street, right? When suddenly I feel like I got to slow down, or suddenly I feel like I need to turn the other way, which is weird. You talk yourself out of it. So when you get that, I always say the intuition will hit, your ego will come 2 seconds later. Go back to the original thought. Here's my thought. That's weird. Okay, go back to my thought. Okay, that's weird. That's great. That means I'm onto something. Go back to your original thought.
Yeah. It is, and it is funny how like I laugh at things that happen sometimes. Like, so at work I had to go on inspection the other day, and I was in my head, I knew where I had to go, and I went the wrong way. Right off the get-go, I went the wrong way, and I'm like, where did that hamlet go? Like, it's and I ended up in the next county over, and I'm like, well, that's weird. So I GPSed it in, ended up back where I needed to go, but on my way, I was going to be passing this other little community that I needed to also go into to take some pictures. And I was like, okay, well, I'll maybe just stop there on my way through and then take them, and then I'll go and meet up with the people I'm supposed to meet up for the other one. So I'm driving, and then I'm like at the highway, and I'm like, where did the community go? Like, it disappeared. So I clearly wasn't meant to go there at that particular time. But it was just so funny because and then on the way back to work, I got stopped by the same train twice. And I'm just like, okay, I really need to slow down and just like, obviously I needed some space and some time. But I trusted, because at first I was like, how do you lose a hamlet?
Well, you needed a detour for that day.
Right?
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Some more time for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's funny because before I think that I was aware of that, I would have been flustered and, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late and I'm going to, blah, 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 and put that story in there for myself to fester on.
Yeah.
And that when it happened, I was just like, oh, this is like so funny, actually. And like,
you do.
Like even when I came home, told my husband, he's like, you drove right by the place. I'm like, yes. I didn't know.
Like, I needed a day for a detour. That's what I needed.
Yeah. So I think, just little things like that, to just share it, because I think in those moments we, like you said, surrender to it and don't question it and just be like, okay, maybe I'll find out the reason that happened, or maybe I won't. It does either way.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter, right?
And be okay with not knowing. That's what everyone wants. Then they want to understand, well, why didn't I? Let's say 9/11. Why did I stop and get a newspaper instead of go there? Now I'm beating myself up. No, surrender into that was the right thing and let it go, because energy is so fluid. It doesn't want the stops. It doesn't want the blocks. Your head and your ego put those stops in place. Not only society, restrictions and environments and all the things to stop, say stop, stop, stop. I feel squeezed. I always think of a funnel where it gets real tiny at one end, Spirit's open and vast and fluid, and just move on to the next thing. So that didn't work. Keep moving on. And then maybe in a year you find out whatever, but who cares then? You're just like, oh, I'm glad I was out of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe, and I don't know, I actually don't know if you believe in this or not. I think you do, but I don't want to put that word in your mouth. And I don't know what you believe, but I totally believe that we have a soul contract that we've made before we've come and lived on this earth plane. So I think in situations like that where we have missed out on that, catastrophic event, I feel like it was not our soul's time to leave this earth plane.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I do too. Well, I guess it's sort of same.
And I see it even from another perspective. Mediumship readings have told me, for example, like a school shooting where there's maybe a 14-year-old that comes in and then janitor's killed and teacher's killed, and there's like 4 or 5 kids that are killed. I'm using hypotheticals here, but we all have heard the stories. They've told me they've all made the soul contract to go together. so that the janitor's wife could meet this teacher's husband, and or that these sheriffs in the town could have gun laws changed, or so XYZ could be exponentially bigger than one person dying.
Mm-hmm.
And there's forgiveness for all of them made a contract, even though we're looking at the shooter and how terrible it was, and his parents or her parents did this, and that everyone wants to judge quickly because you're the bad guy and I'm the victim. Get out of my way. Again, societal program. This is history of societal program. This isn't just your parents were bad and taught you this. This is all we know because it's all we've been fed.
Yeah.
Once we start disassociating from the program, everything is a soul contract in some way or another. Marriages, divorces, babies that maybe, the one parent's not around, situations where, we're here to learn and experience all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And what we want to do, this is my favorite saying in my book, is we want to keep pushing the elevator button. You know how you stand at an elevator and you push the button? Okay, I need my answer. Someone else steps up, they push the elevator button, and you're looking at them like, I'm still waiting. Someone else steps up, pushes it. We're still waiting. Pushing the button doesn't make it any faster. Let it be. Stop pushing the elevator button and just let things come when they will come. Perfect timing is always divine timing.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. And I agree so much that we try to rush things and pigeonhole things in and make things work. And, I've had so many experiences in my life where I've fought so hard to make something work, and then, it's collapsed or fallen apart. And you're just like, I was not meant to do that, like, why didn't I listen to the science? Why didn't I listen to the first one? But then why didn't I listen to the 12th one? Right?
But I think too, we're like a tree. Like I believe in the tree because we're like a tree. We have so many branches and so many things we do in our lifetime, and we're branching off all the time into different things we think of, different things we do, how we change our lifetime, how our thought is changing, our bodies are changing and everything else. So we're like a tree. We're constantly in growth and catching those new blooms every year to change and go somewhere else, take your paradigm.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Whatever
And
else
we
you're
have the free
doing.
will to do that. Some
Yeah.
people stay very stubborn and very stuck. I talked to some parents where their child passed 20 years ago and they still haven't cleaned the room out, right? I'm stuck. This is
I
it.
know.
That's the shrine. No one's going in there. That is not what energy is meant to do. This person, your son or child or daughter in spirit, just like, open it up, share it, be there. I'm here with you. I don't need all my bed made perfectly and you sitting on it every day crying for 20 years. That is not what is meant to happen.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's fluid, it moves. And the branches of the trees, for example, you've gone down this avenue. Let's just use something fun. I'm going to learn how to crochet, and I'm going to start doing this, and I'm going to start doing knitting. Yet maybe on a different timeline, you're like, no, I'm going to not do that, but I'm going to take an art class. Now I'm learning painting. It might be a different branch, but your creative side came out. Right?
It's true. And it's like when you start doing your psychic stuff, you go through so many different modalities along the way, sort of thing, that you're testing them all out. I want to learn more about this. I want to know more about that. I want to grasp and pull it all into me because I want to have that knowledge, right? So it is still like a tree. We're still trying to grasp and get better and grow bigger and, capitalize on all the things that we can learn in this lifetime. It's great. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
because we get to take all this knowledge with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 What I'm seeing, sadly, is some of the youth that are just so stuck on, let's say, video games or electronics, where they don't want to leave their house. I'll just order pizza in and I'm just going to stay here and video game it all day. I'm not getting the experiences. I'm getting locked into a box, let's say, whether that's internet, sadly, even porn or gambling or whatever. They're locked into one thing and they're losing this time of experience.
Yeah.
Right? Or the people that are very depressed or sad after a child dies or a parent dies and they're staying in that grief way too long. We're meant to process it through our body as soon as we can. I don't force anyone through grief, but after a couple of years, it's too long. And I don't mean you can't grieve them. I mean, get out of the house, go to the store, go see a friend.
Yeah.
I know I've sat with so many clients that grief it's almost like a sickness. I don't want to get out of bed. I feel hot. I feel cold. I want to cry. I don't want people around me. I call it a V. We get down here. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to answer the phone. I don't want the casseroles. Go away.
Yeah.
because I don't feel good. Like if you have the flu, I don't feel good. Go away from me right now. But
Yeah.
as we start to raise our vibration and trust that spirit's around, then we can connect a little closer. Then we're feeling them. Now we've maybe got their clothes on us or their blanket or now we're like, okay, I feel you again, but I
Mhm.
just can't see you, smell you, touch you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's growth that comes through that. When we can get over the hump of grief, it makes us stronger too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so hard. I mean, my stepdaughters just recently like lost their grandma and they were very, very close with her. And my one stepdaughter called me one morning and she was just right in, in that grief, right? I can't go on and I can't live without her. She was such an important person to me and just on and on and on. And so I let her go for a little bit because we need to expel that, right? And get that out of us. And so then I said to her, well, one, your grandmother wouldn't want that. And I
Exactly.
said, oh, tell me something, tell me a story that you remember about your grandma. Like something that really makes you think about her and makes you smile. So then she started talking to me. Well, one time when we were gardening, and I'm like, okay, and then her, you knew she had calmed down. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. So when you're feeling those moments where you feel like you can't make it through, pull on one of those memories for yourself and just sit with that, I said. And, try to, I mean, we're still grieving,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
but in a different way, right? In a manageable
Hmm.
way to get through, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
This one. Good one.
thanks.
And they all, everyone who's lost a loved one or lost a job or lost my partner or, got divorced, whatever. Grief is grief is grief.
Hmm.
Whatever we've lost, if you can give it 3 minutes of thinking of something you love, whether it's your puppy or your kitten or my baby or the beach, even though my whole body, 100% of me is in this grief and I'm crying and snotting and I can't move on. Think of something I love for 2 seconds. I love puppies. Okay. Instantly, your physical vibration is higher. And now, when you get to the top of that V, now ask your grandma, be with me. You've raised your physical vibration. So the molecules can be faster. Literally, we're energy.
Right.
So we have to move the molecules faster. I'm thinking of something I love. I think of something I love from head to toe. Okay. Thinking of puppies or kittens or whatever. Now, grandma, be with me. And you will feel your body open. You will feel a shift of, okay, instead of tight, tight, tight. Because in grief, we want to clench. We want to hold it all in. I want to hold on to every last memory or why did this happen to me? Why did I get let go? Why did they leave me? We want to logically make sense of whatever happened because the
Hmm.
brain is big. That's why when I teach intuition, I say it's from the neck down. You're not in your head, you're in your body when you're
Yeah.
feeling all these feels, right? So you did a wonderful thing for her. You gave her such a good
Thanks.
service of think of what you love with your grandmother. Think of that stories, and that will raise her vibration enough to say, now ask grandma, be with me when I dream.
Yeah.
Do that right before bed or right when I get up in the morning. Be with me today, but think of the good stories and bring her in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say I was divinely guided because right in that moment I didn't know like I wanted to ease her pain, right? I was just like, I don't know, like I don't know how to help her.
Right.
And so then I was just like all of a sudden that came to me. I was like, oh, thank you. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's intuition, honey.
yeah, right? Like you have to just go with that.
You
But
do have to
I
trust.
I think, I get a lot of things that way and I think I'm curious, I guess. Is there a message that you get often from the spirit world that you can share with us that they kind of want humanity to know?
It's kind of a big one, and some people are going to probably give me dirty looks or not believe me on this, but since it's been January 2023, it kept coming in loud and clear almost every other reading that I couldn't deny it. And after like a week, I'm like, am I making this up? Why is this so prominent? But here we go. They say religion itself, whatever religion, Jew, Muslim, Christian, Bible Belt, Mormons, I don't care, does not matter on the other side. It matters if you're open to receive love and give love. So once we get to the other side, you're not going to be setting in, this is the corner for the Jews, this is the corner for the Muslims, this is the corner for all the Christians, come over here and all the more. Not like that at all. They've showed me we are all one. Just on earth, we're all one. And I live in a state that's very, very religious. And it was kind of a shock to me to tell people these things, but I could see relief from the moment I would tell people. Their shoulders would back down and just be like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, so
Right?
I
Like
understand.
I can feel into that of knowing it's truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that religion itself doesn't matter. I literally showed him in my mind, so I'm like writing the word religion and handing it to him, and they're like, it doesn't exist here. It's a man-made thing. The other thing they have said is fear does not exist. It's a man-made thing. And I tend to add, Hollywood has made it scary. You know, you're walking down a dark alley, what's going to pop out around the corner? There's going to be a rapist, or there's going to be a serial killer, there's going to be this, or a boogeyman, or fear, 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 fear. And we grow up as little kids, watch the scary show, run, run and hide, you know. We've learned it against society all of our life that we assume in our head, not our body, here, a head up, is this is the way. There's going to be fear with what comes.
Right.
What do your senses say? Let's go back to the seance, right? The senses said, no, I'm not doing it. I didn't need someone to sit with me and do a seance that suddenly you said, this isn't right for me. Your body already gave you the senses of it's a no,
Exactly.
right? So yeah, fear doesn't exist and religion doesn't exist on the other side.
I love that.
I totally believe that too. I
Mhm.
do too.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, it all combines with your spirituality. They all combine, all different kinds of religions, they all combine into your spirituality. It's all of the threes and things like that. So, yeah, I've always said that to the kids as they were growing up.
And
There's,
it's whatever you've learned as society, which is great. You'll take all the nuggets of that with your experience on the other side, but there is so much more once we pass. The puzzle pieces all unfold. Right? We're just giving a little handful of here's a bag of puzzle pieces in a 20 million puzzle piece section on the other side. Go deal with those and let me know how that works out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Well, thank you for sharing that because I always think when people do mediumship and psychic works, well, any kind of energetic work, I really do feel like we get messages from the other side that give us these glimpses into what humanity needs to know and the world needs to know. So I appreciate you sharing that with us.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, thank you. And
Yeah.
I think so too. I think every message that comes through, there's some nugget to share with the world, no
Yeah.
matter what it is. When I do group readings and there's 30 or 40 people in a room, the consensus of the group answering from spirit covers everyone as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It does.
absolutely.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
It's
always
beautiful.
something you can pull through, right? So, yeah,
100%.
exactly. So, can you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, my website is blossomingmedium.com. My Facebook is Blossoming Medium Krystal Parry. I'm going to be changing over some socials and kind of getting everything in alignment now. Right now, I am on Instagram just under kind of my name. I think it's .37, but things will change there soon. And I know I'm getting on the bandwagon to get a TikTok page. Haven't done that yet, but I'm very busy with readings. And so to me, like the social media platform stuff kind of gets to the wayside. It's like I'd rather see someone one-on-one and connect here and
Same,
not have
same.
to post a 3-minute video because I might get one client out of that. It's just been my thinking, which I'm shifting. And thank goodness I have a good marketing person. But yeah, my website's probably the best thing. I'm teaching classes all the time. I have clients out of the country and all over the states. So I have them on Zoom. I do them in person. Usually with all my classes, if they're on Zoom, you get the recording afterwards. And they're always affordable. I think everyone should have the simple basic knowledge so they can start trusting their own intuition and moving forward with their choices. And you'll see where you've already been making the right choices. You just want to
Right.
strengthen them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, appreciate that. And so, if you had a final thought to leave with everybody, what would it be?
Oh, surrender. Surrender and trust what comes in. And I know it's easier said than done, but when you start to feel that surrender in your heart space and let your shoulders back down and let your gut unclench for once, and you're just sitting there breathing in and out of, okay, this is what it feels like to be in my body. All right, now I can trust what comes in.
Right.
And then act the moment you get a hit, a download, a hunch of something. Act. That's how you're going to strengthen that muscle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's a beautiful message.
Mm.
So, thank you. And thank you for joining Mom and I, we
Yeah.
really
Gosh,
appreciate it. So we'd love to
forever
have you
grateful.
back
Thank
sometimes
you.
Yeah.
because
Good information.
yeah,
Good
yeah, it was
information.
Thank you,
wonderful. So
ladies.
thank
I
you so much.
appreciate your time today. Thank you for letting me be here with you.
Oh,
Our pleasure.
absolutely.
Our
It was our
pleasure.
pleasure. And everybody else, we will see you on the next one.
You bet.
Thank you.